Welcome. My name's Brian Knight, and I live near Melbourne in Australia. And it's just after 5 a.m. on a Monday morning for me. It is 2 hours before the market will open. And welcome, Tom. Let me just share this screen first. It's a document for a welcome to this live FOREX analysis session. Please note any trades discussed in the group are to be classed purely as educational only. And the reason for that is that we're a group of people helping each other and we're not financial advisors. There is a full risk disclosure and a little bit about us as live session traders. Okay, now let me share trading platform. I'm down to 10 current trades at the moment. All of them except for one, the NZD/USD they're all in profit, but it's only got 5 pips in that. And on the end of the trading week with non-farm payroll, I got chucked out of stop lost out of 4 trades: Euro USD, Euro NZD, Euro CAD, and the JPY that the crazy person, took on on the last session last week. It was a spike on that JPY. It's continued to go down, but it was basically a spike up that took me out of the trade. It has continued to sell. So yeah, equity is still good. I am this is, I suppose, the revelation, even with those couple of stops. In 5 weeks, I'm up around about 100% on the account. A small account, but up 100% at the moment. I think that's not too bad. Well, reasonable anyway.
Well, it's definitely a good way to start off a week.
Oh, some of these, like Ken said, Jeff, it's not bloody 360, 370 pips on an AUD Singapore. Like, it's just, yeah, some crazy ones. 360 on GBP Singapore. Anyway, so let's stop share there and we'll go across onto the charts. Yep. We'll have a look. I probably won't be taking any trades in this next 24 hours. I want to see what the market does to settle down, as I do every week, and then we'll see what happens from there. Okay, and how'd you go, Tom, for the week?
I haven't logged yet. I'm doing that today, but I did pretty well actually.
Lovely.
I had a I
Mm.
had a few I had a few good runners, and I took several small losses because I saw they were turning around almost immediately, and I just got out of them.
Mm.
So I know I'm ahead. I just don't know how by how much.
No, that's okay. No. That's fine. It's
Yeah,
not a problem there.
I'm really trying to get into the habit of killing deals immediately, killing trades immediately.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't give me what I want in like the first 2 or 3 candles, because I'm on the 4 hour time frame, then I
Mm.
get out of it.
I love. I've got to laugh, Tom. I'm sorry, because within the first 2 or 3 candles, we're talking eight to
12 hours.
12.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, if I get 3 candles and 2 of them are green and uh one's red, I make a decision. Is it
Yeah,
actually pulling back or is it going to continue ahead? And so
yeah,
what I'll
yeah,
do is I'll kill the trade and then reset my parameters to get back into the trade. And if it triggers, great. If it doesn't, great.
yeah. Okay, no worries.
But I'm trying really hard to get out of trades, so I only lose just like a bare minimum.
Yeah, that's good. Well, for me, it's that 50 pip stop loss. That's what it is for me when I initially get in. Well, initially get in with no stop loss because it normally I would take it around this time of the market day. Not when when it's open, but and then place a stop loss a few hours later after market settled down. I don't know. I think that seems to be okay.
Well,
I'll just
this is a perfect example, like this AUD CAD, you
yeah.
know, where it says short down there towards the bottom underneath the halfway point, those two white candles that popped up and touched the red line to your right, where it's at now, down at the bottom.
Oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah, see, so that one long engulfing candle
Hmm.
to your
That
left,
one there.
right
Yeah, that
there,
one
that
there.
one right there.
Yeah,
So I got in on the candle that was underneath the halfway point just above it.
yeah,
And I got that long engulfing candle. I was like, good, now we're still going. And
yeah,
immediately they turned green behind it. And I was like, nope,
yeah,
kill the trade,
yeah.
reset the
Okay.
trade if you're going to continue it. And then you
Hmm.
look at it, it's like, I'm not continuing this.
Mm.
It's just too big of a risk.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I mean.
yeah. Gotcha. Mm. Welcome, Darren. To
Right.
there's. I was just
Hey,
saying
Darren.
before. We were just talking about last week and how we went and that because I've sort of my assessment. I got stopped out of that CAD the
Yeah,
crazy one
I
I
got
took.
stopped out of EuroCAD for the sell quite quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
There were all the non-farm payroll threw things around quite a bit, and there was like four stop loss. They weren't all. Only one of them was the 50 pip. The rest of them were
yeah,
smaller amounts because of the where I'd put the stop profits in them. Some of them were older trades, but yeah, it just shows you that the news at that time. Welcome, Grace. No, I'm just saying that um,
Hi, Grace.
in the small account that I have, it's in 5 weeks, I've increased it by 100% just with what I'm doing. So we'll see. I don't know whether that was a crazy, never to be repeated um, market situation, or uh, or things will be able to be monetized further. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, Tom, you got that. That's right. If it doesn't sort of, I agree. What you're really wanting is you're wanting these sorts of moves. This like yeah, sell, 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 sell with little pullbacks in the day, but still a sell overall. And if it starts to pull back up, it's like, well, hey, it's going opposite to what you really want. Just kill it with less than what your stop loss is, and wait to potentially get in or go and find a better trade.
Exactly.
Mm, mm. I think that's what I was speaking about last week. Is like, well, if I get into a trade like and it doesn't, it's consistently sort of into a little, into break even plus, 10 pips, 20 pips, and then back again to negative. I really should be killing those trades, I think, too. I don't know. If they struggle, I think they're not worth. I feel maybe they're not worth the effort or the time to be in the trade. Does that make any sense?
Right. And my thinking is kill these trades and go add to your runners.
Yeah, yeah,
If I'm not going to use the money for these, then I'm going to go find that trade that's really pushing
yeah,
and put more money into that.
yeah. Have more trades. So stack trades in ones you already have that are actually producing greater movement.
Right. Or that
Mm.
are at least still going in the right direction.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
once
some.
again, my trading is evolving into, because I take so many losses for so many years, I had to learn how to win. I know that sounds weird, but
No, it doesn't. It doesn't
you just
sound
get,
weird.
yeah, you just get nervous about putting on any trades because you've just lost so many times. And then once you start winning, you got to learn how to be comfortable with, okay, I'm right, let it run. And then now I'm to the point with I'm so comfortable with it running now. Now I got to start adding to them like religiously almost to make sure I'm maximizing the profits on the ones that do run.
Isn't it though a fact to a certain extent, Tom, that it takes that journey for you to have the realization that's what the best process for that for your strategy would be?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to build with your process. You have to build inside with your process. So the process shouldn't change. You see the top of the rail, you see the short, it's in phase one.
Yeah.
Because it's above the halfway point. You got your red bar there turning, and it's like, okay, it's automatic, put it on. Yeah. And then it's like, now what? Now you have to deal with all those emotions to just let it run. And I'm telling you, leaving the 2 or 3 candles run before you make a decision, that was one of the best things I've done.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. And to be more specific, particularly on a 4-hour time frame,
or just in trading in general.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Grace, do you want to ask any questions or give any input or feedback or?
Well, last week I did take trades. I ended up ending them all on like Thursday night before Friday because of non-farm payroll. Just because it was on a demo account, so it really wouldn't have mattered. But I think it was just because I was scared that it would, bomb and then I'd lose what confidence. Because right now it's in the positive. I've had more wins than losses, and it's over 50%. So, yay!
Yep.
Like, yeah, that's exciting. So it's kind of like what Tom was just saying. I have to just get comfortable in taking trades, and so, yay! This is really helping a lot. So
good, Grace. So if I can. So I'll just make a comment if that's okay, Grace. And
yes, please.
I think that you made the best decision, even if it's a demo account, because you need to trade that as if it's live money.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're considering, you say like, oh, well, it's only a demo, I could have let it go. But hang on a minute. It's not about the fear of it, really. It's about trading it the way it needs to be traded to be profitable. That's the bottom line of it. And now, like what, 50% increase in the account?
Well, 50% of my trades were wins, so I didn't count exactly, but it's in the positive, so which is great. Like,
yeah.
It's a 10% increase on the demo account, but that's still better than where I was. Like,
it's better than the 10% decrease on the account that you do on a weekly basis.
Right, but I'm doing the daily time frame still.
Yeah,
and that seems to help.
Okay, so, right.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's nice to be able to be in the positive.
We just met a foreign exchange trader. She's hooked out.
It's the journey, Grace. It is the journey, and being able to be confident in your decision-making process and to follow through with those, and to I feel it's very difficult to get those. People say you trade without any emotion, and I think to a certain extent that's true. But then there's part of it where you can get excited about the fact that you've had a positive outcome. But the
Well, when
actual
you
trade,
continuously lose, yeah,
yeah,
it's hard not to be emotional when every trade you take was a loss, and then you start something different and being consistent, and then you see a positive side. So
yeah.
it feels like I'm on the right track, you know.
Hmm.
Okay, one thing I'd like to add though, Grace, you got to
Uh-huh.
understand not everything works long term. But what I mean by
Right.
that
Correct.
is this
Correct.
may work for 2 or 3 months, and then all of a
Mm,
sudden you're not going to get it to work for anything. So in
mm,
the months it's working, you should really be focusing on your trading and adding to your trades and things like that. If it stops working for you for whatever reason, market shifts, your mindset shifts, whatever the case may be, take fewer trades. You'll just
mm,
get used to these cycles.
mm. Yeah, I agree.
That's
Well,
why
and
people swap from. That's why people hop from, which I know very well, from trading one thing, to another, to another, to another until it works. It takes a long time to figure out these things come in cycles, and nothing works continuously. You're going to have to
Mm,
adjust and adapt all the time.
mm,
well, and I feel like showing up for these and catching all the replays has really helped me being consistent
mm,
and just listening to what y'all say and how y'all break it all down has helped a lot too.
mm. I don't know, Grace, if the accents would help you though, particularly like an Aussie accent's a little
Will
difficult,
that help my
maybe.
trading? I can work on that if it'll help.
No, you don't need to. I'm just saying maybe some of the language is a little difficult to understand sometimes. So I apologize for that. But actually, I don't apologize. It's just the way it is.
Yeah,
So yeah, Grace,
I'm fine with it.
okay, no worries. Tom, I think though that I do agree with you. I'd be interested to hear Darren's perspective on it as well. I do agree to a great extent that yes, the market moves around and it shifts and does different things. Yeah, it's still the market. It still goes up. It still goes down. It still goes sideways, right?
Mm-hmm.
It still does that. And to a certain extent, I feel that some of the fine tuning that you and Darren and we've implemented in this, from a gross to a minor sort of perspective in it all, I think that tends to not completely negate, but tends to even out that sort of washing in the market that occurs.
I agree, 100%.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying sometimes what you're doing will work, and sometimes
Yeah.
it won't. But
Yeah.
your system is right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
System is
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
You have to adjust.
Mm, mm,
Well,
You
I had this. I had this because I started. So the first part of the year, was it 18 out of 19 wins? These daily time frame trades. And,
yeah. Yeah.
oh, this is fantastic. How easy is this? And then and for me, it just stopped working for a while.
Yep.
Mm,
Largely down to the JPY pairs. I kept trying to sell them, and it wasn't
mm,
working. And you then just got to sort of look at why. But as Tom was saying, I've been very guilty in the past of just jumping from one strategy to another. Because it stops working, and then you lose confidence and don't try to do something else.
yeah. Well, I've never done that, Darren. I mean, there's no way I would jump from one strategy to another. That's just it's not in my DNA.
Kid, trading with me is like riding a roller coaster. Are you kidding?
So what you got to do
Hang on,
is try and
hang
learn
on.
from the losses, haven't you? Learn,
Yeah,
try and understand why, and see if you can
yeah,
improve just a few things,
yeah.
and obviously make it better. Because I certainly have had this bit of a pattern of sort of waves of wins and then a sort of bit of a wave of losses. And it's trying to
Even that out a bit.
even that out a bit.
Yeah, because you're not gonna avoid any losses though, are
Oh
we,
no,
Darren? I mean, that's the thing. but what we are going to do is get better at having minimal losses and have better sort of overall increases. Okay. Well, that's good input, Grace. I feel that's that makes my day, really. Oh, we'll see. Okay. We've got this week is a little bit of a crazy week for me. I'm not driving the bus. It's been 4 years in the making. There's four couples or as such, and we've been in a 4-year legal case with these two guys that ran this shunky business that have basically robbed us of our our I can't remember what you call it, pension or super. It's called superannuation here. So we invested money in. So finally, it's supposed to be this week that the court there we're actually in front of the judge in a court case for a ultimate sort of decision for their false and misleading stuff that they did. Anyway, it's only part of the story.
Hope you win.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, we are hoping that, but we'll see. It might not. So this week's going to be interesting. So I may need to finish this by the hour that I need to, because we've got to get going, and I've got people staying with me that have travelled from another state, and we need to catch the train to go into the city, and blah yada yada yada. Anyway, enough of my issues. But this strategy doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that stuff's going on. I could still do this in the background. As I said, I potentially won't take any trades this first 12 to 24 hours, and potentially I'll be looking at trades for next for tomorrow's session, and then wait to put stop losses on. That seems to be working for me. What was I going to say? Yeah, let's go look at some of the pairs and see where they've been. So there's no movement at the moment. It's like an hour and a half before the market opens. Non-farm payroll chuck things around. Oh, that's what I was going to say. It's basically we've now started the new month. Like, even though the new month started at the end of last week, we're now into the new month. And we could see with some of the pairs, they're starting to sort of, like, for example, AUD CAD. The word on the street, Darren, the word on the street is that next week it will all just stay the same, even with the figures that we had out with from an AUD perspective. But I can tell you what, there's a lot of articles about the fact that if the US drops their rate, the Aussies are going to, even if we haven't got it quite within the range, because the rest of the world has started to now drop interest rates, we're going to be left behind and potentially push us into a recession because of the world economy then in relation to us. So, they're saying there won't be a rate cut until February. And then there's other people saying, oh, yeah, but if it's then, it's going to be way too late. And then the bank will have to do something earlier. And, there's a lot of uncertainty in relation to it from this part of the world.
Yeah.
So AUD CAD, you can see where there's been a significant drop. I'm still in AUD CAD. I'm still 155 pips in current in the trade. I have a stop profit of 120 pips. Big, and the reason why it's 120 is because I would have moved my stop loss down on these trades at 50 pips. And because of that push up here, it has reduced that 50 pip margin. Yeah. Does that make sense? So if it does jump up further, then it will be stop profit at around 120 pips in a trade. Yeah. And that's okay. Now, the second thing to observe here from this currency perspective is if things start to move internationally, then the Aussie dollar will, because what date we got here? This is 16th of July. So the middle of July in this pair started to weaken, right? And even though the Aussie dollar hasn't changed its interest rate and stuff. It had to pull back here to profit out some of this sort of like, the need. Sorry.
I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. I said it had to come back and take all that garbage.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Well, the effort or the money effort to push it up here, it needed to come back for them to profit out. I mean, it's just how the market works. So even though the fundamentals would say, no, the Aussie dollar's got to get stronger because the Canadians, like way down here, but the Aussie dollar weakened off as well. And so that's what gave us that drop in relation to it. And so now you see drop, 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 drop. Oh, pull back, drop, drop, up, pull back. Now it's starting to falter. Now we're coming to the outside of the rail. Now we're getting a situation where it may push a bit further down. It may push up, whatever. We haven't got a green triangle, but we're not like any of the JPYs. We're not in super uncomfortable territory, but we are in, we're below the halfway. And things are like, well, the market's going, well, I've taken back some of the monies, as in the technical term that Tom put, that money garbage. And now we might think about going back, but we don't know yet. So there is no trend bar change. There's no short, long. There's no triangle. This is just a waiting game, right? Not time to get into additional trades on this. Where the time to get in additional trades is up here when Tom was talking about, okay? Not down here. This is now, this could rocket down further, but it's not it doesn't have a higher percentage of chance of doing that, right? So that's that pair there. ADCHF. You comment at any time, if you want. Now, I was in this, it was great, it pulled back up, it stopped, profited me out, and then it has plummeted down. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Not time to get into the trade, I don't think, at this point. The Swiss franc has just gone gangbusters, right? Absolutely gangbusters. The strength of it, and the JPY and British pound, they're running hot at the moment. You could get into trade, but the point is that the pullbacks that will occur, and I'm not going to get into this. We've still got a red trend bar, all that stuff. I have made profit out of it. I don't care, right? Darren, you probably in the bot that's running, this is yielded a bit more for you? Yeah.
It's in.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, that's great.
In fact, it profited out, I think, on end of last week.
Yeah. It might have a mechanism that it actually closes off before the weekend. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Well, you can do. I don't. That was an optional setting. You can.
It's a setting.
Okay. I mean, I've just left it with the defaults, except for gold, which is on the minute time frame. So on the other pairs, I've left at the default, which they just keep them open.
No
you can. You can change that.
I think also, Darren, it's nice having something that just tickles away in the background that you don't have to actually, you can look at, but you don't have to have a lot of decision-making process with it.
Oh.
So, yeah. Just sounds like rain out there. Anyway, AUD JPY. Where is the floor?
Yeah, incredible.
Where is the floor? I mean, you look at how far it pushed out of the top of the rail, and everyone's going, no, it's going to turn, it's going to turn, it's going to turn. Look how far. It's like double the amount out the bottom of the rail.
Well, it's lost something like 7 months of gains there now.
Yeah.
In the space of a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. Phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
There's some good buying opportunities coming up when they eventually do. When it
Well,
eventually happens, I think.
that's the perspective, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what you're saying about the Aussie dollar and
Mm,
interest rates, at least for the time being.
mm. Now, I think the next sort of 5, 6 months are going to be very interesting to the end of the year, because sorry, it's not. It's only 4 or 5 months, really. Sorry, I'm trying to perspective. We're already in August, aren't we? And I think there's going to be a fair bit of roller coaster. And I think, Tom, this is to sort of reinforce what you said earlier in the fact that we've had some longer runs, either ups or downs, and it may start to get into some more wavy type of market where it may not go one side to the rail to the other, and all this sort of stuff will potentially start to occur.
or
Because
really quick pushes and pullbacks, but they're going to be small.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we may not get these big runs like this, and may flag back, which will take
Yeah,
weeks or months.
yeah, which is more sideways. Anyway, AUD Now it's interesting because I would consider potentially, if the market was running, say in the middle of the week, I potentially would consider getting into a trade on this. And the reason why I would get in, for me, is because of its distance from the trend bar. I'll tell you that. That's the reason I would be looking at potentially. I mean, it is in a really uncomfortable position, but the point is the strength of it is still showing what it is. Now, because we've got a new week, because we've got potentially new month, that's probably that's risky with a market that's closed at the moment. Let's see what happens when the market opens for the first 12, 24 hours. And I may decide to get into a trade on it. We'll just see. There will be deliberation. Okay, AUD NZD. This is the pirate. No, what is it? What have we become? We've become mutineers. This is the mutineer pair. I still think that's humorous. Anyway, we still have a very strong trend bar. We do have the end of the week where it sort of just tickled around the place. You can see the New Zealand dollar is still low as well, but the Aussie is too. So I'm still 70 pips in this one. Positive. I will have let me just see, where is my stop profit? Yeah, I'm in a stop profit situation. So I think all my trades are necessarily, except for that NU, but we'll see. AD Singapore, my gosh, this just keeps rocketing down, and I'm happy with this. Look at it break the low down here and just keeps going. There is another low, you'll see over here, way back here, that it's I think it's targeting. So at any one of these points it could turn, but I think it's still, we'll just see what happens when market opens. But this one, AD Singapore, 380 pips currently. And I'm pretty sure I've got a healthy I could actually move that. I probably won't do it because no, it will. So I've got 306 pips of a stop profit now. So I don't care if this jumps back up. I've got like what, 70, 80 pips of movement it can do at market open. We'll see. Okay, AUD. And so this is one to highlight. If you're not in the sell and haven't been in the sell, we're waiting for the buy on this one. There was a triangle, but it didn't change the trend bar. So, and for you, Darren, this has got candles well outside the rail. It's got,
Yeah,
it's just a waiting game, isn't it?
it is. It is.
Have you got any fingernails left or not?
No, this is a relaxed strategy, Brian.
Oh, right. Good.
Chew your fingernails.
You've got past
Yeah.
the fingernail biting stage where
Absolutely.
I'm ready to get in.
Uh,
Okay. Good. AUD you can see what it's doing as well. And this is for me, the AUD is the sort of the indicator pair for the AUDs as such normally. Can you see it's starting to falter here and then push down and then fault, like it's got a couple of green triangles, the trend bar's close to the candle wick, it's like the signs are there that potentially at some stage this is going to be turning to go back up. And they've taken out some of the garbage. There's a little bit more garbage to take if they want to. Depends on what the market may need to do. AUD USD 190 pips. Let me have a look and see where my stop. Oh yeah, it's okay. 190, so I could have that. There we go. About 150. Oh no, it need to actually be a little bit more than that because when market opens, I can always move it back down anyway. Okay, I've got 135 stop profit on it. So let's just see. Right. CADs. Anybody ready for CAD CHF?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
This has been in a downtrend when you look at it.
This is
2 years
just
now, this one.
I know, but it did do that pull up there, and now it's like
It
it's
pulls
just
up, but it keeps creating lower lows,
yeah,
pulls back,
yeah.
lower highs again. You look at it all the way back to
It just shows you that
started about May, June in 2022.
correct, yeah. And you can see where the Swiss franc has just got stronger and stronger. Remember we were talking months there. It was like, oh my gosh, when's this Swiss franc going to strengthen up? It has to. And then all of a sudden, bang, like look at the strength. It's come back with a vengeance now. And the CAD has just also in turn dropped the bundle. So that my CAD says 365 pips up. Where's my stop profit? Oh, I got 200 on that. That better come down. 200.
Never gave us a red triangle, so we didn't get in it, which is
No,
frustrating.
but I did. I got into
Yeah, you
the
did.
buy, got out of it into the sell, and it's like it is a prime example of Tom's understanding and where this has had one, two, three opportunities to get into to have three separate trades with this, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hindsight is a beautiful thing.
Mm.
All right, CAD CHF, that's good. CAD JPY. Now, this is still selling, and I did get into that trade, right? The only thing that occurred is that push up and suck back basically knocked me out of the trade. I mean, I was only, where is it? History. 22 pip loss. So it was less than half of my initial trade. So the stop loss had been moved because it had gone into some profit. But then, anyway, but that's just the history of it again, JPYs. So remember the craziness of this person here that, getting into a CAD JPY on the last day of the week, I think, or second, whatever it was, last session last week. So, and it didn't come off, but it could have quite easily, because see how much it's moved down. That could have been, a good 180 pips, but it didn't come off. That's okay. Can't win every trade. Okay. I might not be able to go through all the pairs today. I'm sorry, everyone. I just need to sort of focus on get myself. So CHF, JPY. Now this is interesting, isn't it? I think it's interesting. Why is it interesting from your perspective?
Well, the Swiss franc is so strong at the minute.
Yeah.
As is the JPY.
Yeah.
I think the Swiss franc will win out eventually, won't it?
Yeah. I think so. And I think it will, but it just shows you the strength of the JPY at the moment, that it can hold a really strong Swiss franc at a certain price. That's just like, really? So the Swiss franc against all these other currencies is just dominating, but against the JPY, it's not. So, yeah, worth noticing. And that it's had 2 green triangles, but it hasn't changed the trend bar and hasn't moved it. Okay. So let's go through the euros. I might only be able to we'll see how we go. Euro AUD. There's the challenge. Here we go. Euro AUD, not in. I got knocked out here with that pullback, but look at that push up. Hasn't that been nice? I'm not going to get into that at this point, because I think there will be a turn and we'll get a push back here. We've got rate decision for me tomorrow. We've got balance of trade stuff and a little bit for euro, but it depends on what this rate decision keeping on hold will do. I mean, you can see where it's broken that high. There are highs further up, whether it wants to keep kicking or not. But, from the relaxed strategy that has developed over time, this is way out in uncomfortable territory, isn't it? Like, not the time for Darren to step in and take a buy. No. shaking the head. So we're looking at the turn and then having a nice sell back, because anytime a market does that sort of thing, it's going to do that sort of thing. We know that. We know that it's going to have to come back. If you have been here long enough, you realize that's what it's going to do. We have to wait for all of the signs and indicators for it to show us that. Okay. Euro CAD. This one I got, it went totally the other way. And this is one that basically knocked me out, right? Because, because what happens is we got triangles, we got candles, we got a trend bar change. I said, let's get in, and then non-farm payroll.
Well, I had a short as well, Brian. So I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. You had all of you had everything. I didn't. Yeah. So I just did it on that trend bar, and then basically that's it. It just, I was under the impression the second last day that it would just pull up a bit and then start dropping off again, but it hasn't.
Told you guys it was going to buy.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah.
You thought I was crazy. I caught that.
We never think that you're crazy, Tom. Mentally deranged, yes, but crazy, no way. Yeah. So that's just a lesson of where it's at. So again, if it's pushed a candle like that how many pips was that candle push up? 160 pips. Like that, the market will need to sort of like recoup some of that push. So we'll just see what happens. I mean, it's still in the situation to be able to, so we'll just see. Euro CHF, I'm still in the sell and it's still selling. See the difference? Euro CAD, bang, look at the push up. That's because the Canadian is really weak and just the euro's got strength. But then when you come to Euro CHF, the euro's not enough to sort of make that Swiss franc sort of do what it wants, and for price to change, it's still selling out. Yeah. But then again, it's in an uncomfortable. So Euro CHF, where am I at? That one. 150 pips. See where the oh yeah, I can bring my what did I say? 150. So I'll leave it at 60 at the moment. I can pull it back down. We'll see what happens when the market opens up. But this is in a stop profit situation for me at the moment. Euro GBP, look at that. Even with the British pound, look at it. The British pound is so strong, but look at the push up there. Incredible. Out to the other side. This is more of what I wanted, because overall this has been a sell. Like, this is a sell trend, right? To buy like that is just weird. So let's get some triangles here and a trend bar change and get into the sell back down to break this low.
Well, I think the pound's going to start the week. Sorry, open week.
Start the week, which means it'll push up further.
And I'm basing that on the all this trouble in the UK at the minute.
What trouble, Darren?
Riots.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Bloody social media's got a lot to answer for, I reckon.
Yeah, no, it has, yeah.
Euro JPY still pushing down, way out of the look how far it's like breaking this low. It's coming to break this. We'll just see. Yeah. I can't see this stopping for the minute. Again, when I look at this, I just go, hey, I want to get into a sell on this. But we'll see how the market opens up. It may not and may start to, and we'll just see. Euro NZD is another one that I got stopped out of because we had the short, we had the thing, it was out and it pushed back up. So I have been stopped out of that. What did I lose on that one? Euro NZD, was it? Yeah, that was a 20 pip loss.
I'm still in this one.
Are you? Okay. Yeah, no, my because of 50 pips, it's like that just took me out. Now the trend bar has not changed color, so if that pulls back down, I would consider potentially being in that. But you see, there's a long there, so.
Oh, I've not got a long. It's interesting, isn't it? I haven't got a long on this yet.
Yeah. Anyway, Euro Singapore, that pulled back up. I'm still in there. Am I? I'm not in that. How come? Where's my history on that? Oh, Euro Singapore. Oh no. Oh yeah, Euro Singapore got knocked out. I got stop profited. Sorry, 125 pips. Right, because I've been in that for a while, and that push up has just done that to me. Okay, so that was nice. 125. Thank you very much. Euro USD, it did the same thing to me. That was a loss of 5 pips. I was in that for the sell and it just pushed back up there. This is, Grace, this is a bit of what we're talking about, what Tom was talking about. Like the market's going like that, and then it does this, like totally unpredictable. Yeah?
Yeah. That's a big old change there.
Yeah, 130 pip move on that. So that I lost 5 pips, but like that I'd moved my stop loss down to break even, must have been +5. So
yeah, but if you shrink that down, if you shrink the whole screen down, you can see how long it's been going sideways.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Right. So, I mean, look at that. That's just sideways. Even with those two big moves right there in the middle, that's sideways for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, where that one short is and where that one long is after that big move.
Yeah.
that's the high and the low that it's going to have to break
Yeah.
before it decides which way it's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yes, it is. And it's just playing around, but you can see the strength of the euro though has just gone crazy at non-farm payroll. And that was what non-farm payroll tends to do, play around the US and because the euro is so tightly linked that's where the pressure comes and the change will occur. All right, now I'll need to go. I'm sorry, people, it's not quite the hour.
No worries, man.
Any questions before I leave, or feedback, or anything else you might want to look at, or hopefully we can get through some other pairs tomorrow. And I'll be noticing, Darren, I will be noticing if there is a weakness on the British pound at opening. We will see.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is GA and it's starting to falter here. I haven't taken a trade, but we'll see. Trend bar changes, we'll work it out. Okay. Stop sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. We'll see you later, and I'll plan on being on tomorrow morning. Or tomorrow session. This is my morning anyway.
Bye.
No worries.